All right. Test, test,
Test.
test, test.
This week here, guys. So
Okay.
that would have been the 18th of June. We're shooting this on June the 20th, Thursday. One thing I did enjoy was to sit back and watch The Dark Knight. I'm wearing a T-shirt here. If you're watching us on video, this is the great Heath Ledger as the Joker on my T-shirt here. That movie, so 2008, that means it's 15 years ago already that The Dark Knight debuted in the theater. So I wanted to sit back and rewatch it in celebration. And, you know, that's it. I'll take us into our Ask an Idiot question of the week here. So, you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's one I definitely enjoy every time I watch it. I think it still holds up very well. There are some things that, you know, the Christian Bale Batman boys, there's a different things that it is a little bit annoying and this and that and the other. However, obviously the performances by many in that movie, of course, including Heath Ledger, just fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought the storyline was great. It was certainly, in my opinion, the best of the Nolan trilogy, easily. Mm-hmm. Although Batman Begins is quite good.
Aaron Eckhart as Two-Face was a good
fabulous.
One as well. Yep.
Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon was great in all those movies. You know.
Yep.
Anyway, you know, I don't know if you've seen it lately, but you know, just that movie. That's our asking you the question of the week. So, does this movie still hold up for you? Is it still one of the best superhero movies of all time, at least within the DC universe, if not between all of them? Did it change the tone of superhero movies in general? Just any thoughts, reflections on the movie? That's what we're going to talk about here. So, yeah, Nick, why don't we start with you, sir? Any? Have you seen it lately? Any reflections on this movie? What are your thoughts on The Dark Knight?
Yeah, the last time I saw it, I think was maybe it's probably been a few years. I would say it's probably been about 3 years. It was one of those ones though when I had cable and I'd be flipping through channels, it was one that I would stop on every time I saw it. I saw it in the theater, and that was one when it came out, it was getting a lot of praise. It was getting a lot of hype and how good this was. It was long, but it was really good, and people had only good things to say about it. And so a lot of times when you hear so much praise for a movie like that, it tends to build it up, and then you go see it and you're like, okay, is it going to live up to the hype? But that one definitely did for me, and I think it did. It changed what superhero movies could be, as in it wasn't your typical hero villain superhero-y dynamic. It was a drama. It really was a drama movie. It revolved around a comic book character, but man, it was just like the depth that they go into with the characters. As you mentioned, Heath Ledger's Joker performance whether you agree with it or not, goes down as one of the most like epic performances, certainly as a superhero villain. I think it's fantastic. I think it's so well done. I still think it's my favorite, DC character movie I've seen, although I will shout out the Batman that came out last year with Robert Pattinson. I thought that was great, but this movie really holds up well, I think. Like you said, just great casting. The story it tells, he was just the Heath Ledger Joker was such a dynamic character, and was kind of out of the norm of your typical villain. A lot of, we say villains are the hero in their own story. This guy was really truly a villain and an anarchist, and like he really was not in it to, be rich or to be powerful or famous. It was just he wanted to upset the power balance, and he was just the most unpredictable wild card type of character. And you couldn't reason with him, and there was really no way to relate to him. I still thought it was a fantastic movie. Definitely my favorite of the Nolan trilogy. But yeah, I couldn't ever gush about that movie enough. I still think it's just very, very well done, very good, and I still love it every time I see it.
Excellent. Dean?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. First of all, the first movie is dog shit.
No.
Yes.
Batman
100%.
Begins?
Yeah, horrible movie.
No.
Are you talking about the one with Liam Neeson? Like Ra's al Ghul? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Christian Bale as Batman is unbelievable. Again, dog shit. It is unwatchable. The third movie, I appreciate how they made it just as unwatchable as the first one.
I was not as big of a fan of that one.
Yeah,
The one with Bane.
Yeah, because dog shit. But the second one, Heath Ledger's performance was captivating and strong. My only question, and give me all the heat you want. Maybe I deserve it for this comment, but does the movie hit the same way if he doesn't die?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. I think so, but there's part of me that is curious. Like, if he would have lived, would you have felt a little different about the performance? Maybe.
Well,
maybe it gave that little bit of extra oomph that he passed, and like this is his hurrah. I don't know.
No.
Well, there certainly was at the time when the movie was released. There was this kind of extra hype because it was like, oh, that he got so into character with the Joker, that he drove himself insane, and he ended up dying from it. This is, it took everything from him to deliver this performance. I do think the performance is far good enough to stand on its own.
Okay.
Without the tragic end of the actor, but
I would like to watch it again.
Yeah.
Because like I was a huge fan of it, especially like, and again, to heart, I'm meaning to heart because it's an awful movie. But the first one was so bad that like my expectations were really fucking low.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was getting all this hype about Heath Ledger and his performance, so I watched it and I was quite impressed. And again, maybe a little too impressed because of A, that he passed, and B, that that it was so much better than its predecessor. So I don't know. I want to watch it again, like you, Brian, and see how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's just some of the banter that he had, the dialogue in this movie was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And his delivery was great, and it really.
Can you imagine if you had actually a good actor to work against him? That would be fucking amazing.
So, do you hate Christian Bale, period, as like a?
No, I don't.
Is it, or is this just a Batman Christian Bale?
He just was a shitty Batman.
Okay.
I've enjoyed other Christian Bale movies, so it's not him as an actor.
Well, I know we debated this before, but I thought he was good. He's a very good Bruce Wayne too.
Yeah, I thought he was just fine as Bruce Wayne.
Made that.
As the
Growl
Whisperer. Yeah.
He was purposely a cartoonish rich guy to help.
Who doesn't want a millionaire with a lisp?
Okay. But anyways, the banter with even Two-Face, some of his lines was great too. The dialogue there too, but the whole scene where the Joker is explaining to Batman in the cell.
Yes,
you could tell. It was very quiet. Batman paid attention to what he was saying. You could tell he sort of thought about what he was saying there for a second. Where, they need you now,
right?
But the second they don't, they'll cast you out and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was very serious dialogue. And then the scene with him in the hospital with Harvey was fabulous. He put the gun to his head and describing himself like, I'm like a dog chasing a car. If I catch it, I don't know what I would do with it. I'm just, I just do things, just to do. I have no plan, all this and that and the other. So it was a very believable. Like somebody that has a plan. Yeah, it was very believable for someone if that person actually existed. It was a in many respects very believable in the sense of how he would think and how he would try to create, like you say, anarchy and panic and everything else by all the stuff that he was doing. Obviously, a lot of it's very unbelievable in many things, but still, he definitely caused a lot of terror and everything else. So,
There
was
is a
one
level.
thing
Go ahead,
which one?
Nick.
No,
Nick, go ahead.
Shut up. I'm Dad's favorite. There is a level, even to this day, Marvel has put out so many good movies, and they're great. They're very entertaining, and they're fun, and they're good. But there is a level of reality to those Batman movies that no superhero franchise to this day has accomplished. There's a level of believability to it that there's almost like
Have you not seen Howard the Duck?
There's like this lens over, at the end of the day, these are, the Marvel movies are all fantastical and action packed and, it's shiny, flashy superheroes. But the Batman movies and those Batman movies specifically, there is a level of, this is very a believable, plausible reality or a situation that could exist. Now, you could also take into account Batman lends itself to that anyway, because Batman is not some superhero that is out of this world that has powers. Not. You know what I mean? So he's is a regular guy. So he could exist in our world because it's something that could actually exist.
Can you imagine if Batman movies Musk got in his pajamas and went around saying he was a crime fighter?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was out there kicking ass and trained by Liam Neeson. I mean, it'd be great.
Right.
Fantastic. That could happen.
Justice.
Yeah, but those movies are just it's very, very cool. There's something very real and believable about them that in my opinion, no other superhero movie has been able to accomplish.
Yeah, it's a very tragic figure, like you say,
and it showed lead actors that were bad.
One thing I liked was it showed him. It was if it was a guy running around fighting, he would be beat up and exhausted and battered and bruised, and they definitely showed all that in these movies. Definitely here. It's one of very tragic character, Bruce Wayne, in many respects too. So I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know that. All right, I got two more things that upset me about this. One,
I was thinking about Christian Bale while you guys were talking, and I'm upset about other things.
Actually, Two-Face. I'm upset that he was only Two-Face for like laying in bed for a brief moment. You know what I mean?
No, but he got out of bed. So the last act, he's out and about.
45 minutes of the movie is him.
Shit, maybe I don't remember that part.
Yeah,
okay. I'm gonna have to go back.
He's got Commissioner Gordon's kid.
Suit. Yeah,
he's holding him for ransom or not ransom. But,
I'm gonna rewatch this. All right.
Well, because that was the thing. The movie was so long.
Remember it.
When that part happens,
you think it's the end, right? That in my head,
you start to think when he's laying in the bed, and you're like, "Oh, they're setting up for the next one." The movie continues on for like 45 more minutes. Yeah. And then Two-Face has his whole thing happen, and it's like all this other. It's like a whole other mini movie at the end. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's just the whole thing of the whole dynamic of what Batman had to become to protect the city, because he sacrificed his reputation and everything because he was determined that you can't let Gotham cannot know what Harvey Dent did here. Harvey Dent represented something good. He's not a superhero. He generated hope for the city. We can't possibly let the city know that he went crazy and the Joker got the best of him and he killed people and all this and that and the other. So that's where Batman said, I did these things. He took the bad fall. Guy. He'll be the bad guy. He did whatever the city needed him to do.
To watch it. That's dumb. I have to watch that.
No, it's not dumb because this logic made a lot of sense. So
at the end of the day, he cared more about the betterment of the city than he did his own reputation to the city. So he sacrificed everything, all his goodwill to basically
for a guy who murdered people
to lift up the city at large.
So I need the city to thrive. So let's
hero,
right?
But still, there's plenty
as a villain.
There's plenty of people, especially politicians, that fall from grace and do shitty things after doing amazing things in their political careers.
Well, but Harvey, the logic was that he was the guy that was. He was a regular guy. He was a civil servant. He created hope. They did not. That was the future that Batman wanted to see. I can't be Batman forever. I need to inspire.
I see what you did there.
No, but I need to inspire people to. I didn't mean to do that, but he wanted to inspire hope and have others in the city rise up similar to Harvey Dent. Yeah,
I understand the concept. I just don't like it. Like, like if no, I'm saying as in,
Well,
like
then
if
it's
you're
trash.
if you're the superhero, if you're superhero of the movie and whatever, why would you take one guy's reputation? And I get, again, you don't have to repeat it. I understand what he's saying, but like, you're now fucking the city of like what good you could continue to do. And yes,
Well,
you can't be Batman Forever. I understand that, but again, it's flawed. I don't like that plot line.
That's okay. Okay. Well, he did continue to fight crime behind the scenes, and obviously he redeemed himself in the third movie. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
all
that was
worked
so
out.
amazing when he died. That was,
All worked
or
out.
did he?
He did
Did he
not
blow
die.
himself up? Yeah.
No,
yeah,
he
faked his death.
faked his own
Faked
death
his
in a
death.
way and got away. Yeah,
I always thought that last
retired
scene
more or
there.
less.
Did he fake his own death, or did he really die? And
No.
the Michael
They show
Caine or
him-
whoever was like, no. When I first watched it, I thought it was Alfred's imagination, like in hopes that that's what he wish he would see, like see him off and away, doing that whole thing.
Mm.
That's how I interpreted it.
I could see that, but I took it to where he lived and he actually did get
Yeah.
away, and
Okay.
He and
he's living.
Catwoman.
He's living a
Anne
great,
Hathaway,
living a happy life. Yeah.
Okay.
Happy ending.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and so if you
What
haven't
you want
watched this
for
movie,
lunch? Mimosas.
that's right.
He probably got to retire the voice too.
I hope so.
I know we talked about this already. That's in the third movie. That is still one of the most craziest scenes of the whole trilogy when he's flying away to die. And Commissioner Gordon knows who he is, and he's still hanging on to that Batman voice. He can't let it go until the very end, even though he knows who he is. Yeah, that's when he should have just changed to Bruce Wayne. But other than that, that was definitely a low point. All right, but this movie very good. If you haven't watched it lately, go check it out. All the Batman movies are on Max streaming, so you can go all find them all there, including the 80s ones and everything else.
Hey there, if you like that video, or if you just like to watch us make fools of ourselves, please like and subscribe to this channel. We really appreciate it. We hope to see you back here.